You're still watching Joy News at 8. Now, media reports confirm the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SSNIT, has settled fully STC's debt owed Prudential Bank. Now, STC last year faced a possible auctioning of some of its assets to offset debt in excess of $3 million owed the Prudential Bank since 2005. Though the nation's premier pensions handler seems disinterested, it has come to light that it has paid 50% of the debt and in talks with other creditors to settle STC's debt amounting to about some 43 million Ghana cedis. Now, the report also continues to say that workers' salary arrears have all been settled. Though we are unable to get management of the state transport company to confirm the debt payment, chairman of the Workers' Union, Seth Kwame Martin, joins us in the studio for a chat. Well, so thank you very much, sir, for joining us on Joy News. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell us, better late than never. At least you are relieved now that you've been paid.
Yes, we are relieved somehow. Our salaries, which was in arrears for about 4 months, plus 2 months advance, that's ending that of December, is being paid to us in full. That is being paid. But we are left with some money that were chucked out of our salary. That's the contributions that we were using revolving to settle issues on our own. That's monies from something like a Provident Fund, other associations, contributions. Yeah, not yet paid.
So you mean that your workers went on the break without salaries, right?
No. We had our salaries all right.
Before you went on the Christmas
we had it,
break.
That's right. We had it. That's
okay,
right.
well.
We are very grateful to SSNIT for also coming in at that time because though it wasn't, it's not much, but at least it alleviated us somehow. Yes.
So right now you really don't have any issues with the management at all?
We still have issues with our management in the sense that, like this monies I'm talking about, they are about 2,000 plus. Right. And it's both Provident Fund, drivers' contributions, all associations. And that's that's the money that we're revolving for ourselves, you know, helping each other if you need in terms of loans, soft loans or whatever. This is what we're doing, and we accrued up to that amount. We thought that we would have gotten it as at when they were paying the arrears. But unfortunately, it never came. We waited till our management, we asked our management and told us that our Senate had said that anyone that STC owned should go to SSNIT for its money. So the union wrote a letter to SSNIT requesting for those monies to be paid to us. And unfortunately, the reply that came to us is that that the money that they are paying does not include that of union's contribution. And which is very, very bad to us.
So have you confronted your management on this?
Not yet. We had a letter just yesterday. Okay. And we planned meeting our management tomorrow. That's why, because we earlier asked that we would have wanted to meet them early today, but they said we could not have met them, so probably we'll be meeting them tomorrow.
So when you meet them, you mean you meet them and they are still unable to pay you your arrears in terms of the deductions that were made earlier that had to be paid back to you? What would you have any action to take as a union? Well,
when we get there, we'll decide what to do. But we think that it's not possible that our union, the management could pay that money because simply there's no money there. So that's why we're pleading with SSNIT, that as they've taken it up, they should pay as well so that workers will be a bit relieved. Because these are monies that revolves for workers, and it's a whole lot for workers. So if these monies are not paid now, our lives will be shortened. Definitely our lives will be shortened because we depend on that. And that's why people have put their hopes on. So if it's not coming, then it will be a bad news.
It must be painful having worked over such a long while and not getting paid. But then that brings me to the question, because last year there were some grievances that either the company is liquidated or you know, sold off. If that happens, what happens to you as the workers?
Definitely, when it's either liquidated or sold off, then we think that some workers will get something small that will also help them. Definitely, it's not everybody that will be re-employed. Some would have to go home, but like the situation that we are now is not the best, and therefore that is our problem. We think that SSNIT should come in as well to help.
What are some of the feedback you're getting from your union, some of the members of your union, you being the leader? I'm sure they're giving you a lot of pressure.
Yes, a lot of pressure. It came to a time that workers were saying that SSNIT had gotten the monies ready for us to go and sign. The union should go and sign, and therefore we were not going to sign. They were not capable of doing all those things. Only to find out that after writing the letter, only to find out even that there's nothing like that, and then Senate says that they're not going to pay that money. We should demand it from our management, which we think that management cannot pay this money. Honestly, they cannot pay.
So your point really is that you do not think management can pay you, and so if there's anything to be paid at all, it has to be from SNET.
That's exactly what we're thinking of, that they should come in, they should help us, because if they don't pay this money, then our hopes will be dashed. We cannot do anything.
I see. I can see the anguish in your eyes there, but thank you very much, Mr. Martin, for your time with us on Join You. So that is the leader of the union at STC asking the SNET to come in, step in, because they do not have faith in the management to pay them back some deductions that were made earlier on. So let's move on with other stories. Now, hawkers in the Central Business District are suggesting that the AMA allows them to self-regulate instead of denying them their livelihood. They say this, among others, will ensure they do not compete with pedestrians and vehicles. Pedestrians, on the other hand, are elated by the move to clear the street, but insist government should provide an alternative market for the hawkers. If you know Accra very well, you will not need to be told that there is a great change in the look of the city. If you are new, however, you would think it is overcrowded. These hawkers were issued an ultimatum by the Accra Metropolitan Assembly to leave the streets or face prosecution. The hawkers say they have nowhere to go.
Ya ani o ma ye dwana maye na sebio ya nkwa ho de na ehu se aso den na eye na nye dwumu nye dwa bia maye na fe so pam na mo pam ye ye sere wo mo a wo mo pa ba bi maye na ye hu se han ha na o ma pam anya sa kwan na no de la tula ye beba ne ye beba.
Rebecca has been selling here for years. Today, work begins for her and her 7.5-month-old baby, but it is not work as usual. She is sitting on tenterhooks. Members of the AMA task force are lurking to seize her wares. Atta, a single mother, claims to have 8 children. She says she needs time to raise money for her son's school fees, so the AMA should exercise patience.
Yes, any baby, I akoton ade. Yankasa behwe ameneji pe baby kakra ya bata wonu kakra bi emakwam. Mi yankasa kra metimi amom ayi ni nyina di super pepe. Akonya kra ni se papa be kra mpo ba. Ba mi atrans kakra. Ni aton ade atame se so ba mi atrans 3 months. Na we so do ba pepe. Na otwepe wo se ye pam yen. Ti esre melonu. Wo ma e kwan kakra. Ni atrans ni so mpe kakra ma ngomofra ni ni. School fees.
Lizzie, like her colleagues, acknowledge their presence on the street is unacceptable, but demands dignity.
Shika 1 year ni 1 year esa na me ba e wodi wo fe wo fita en wo vote 1 lep wo sana me na twia wa ke kufu abaye lele emi wa fe neke ene 1 year mi bon shi bona me fi o wa yin kula kana kan boy sa ji ame mi bona ka police an wo no ka ma twun me na me court ewe ma me ba ajabu ta fla cha ye ni fo am shi da we na me jo wo ye egbe ye ebe ngbe no kula na fe na kan ko jamo ku esa no le wo uniform kama ofe no kwekela ya office kona onukpa ikela abaye shide no ke mo ba jamu ko mami potopoto egbe ebe ngbe no kura be na me fio e bia na yin kura.
You may find it strange, but traders are still complaining about hikes in licenses which allows them to sell on the street even though they are being sacked.
First na ka ekwachi ye ba omo je 60,000. Afi de omo anje 60 omo say 100,000. Ye ayekwachi nyina wo je 100,000. Na misanka be ya nka wonye nyina pe obi ahia na obeto bi na yeso esiwa omo ha ye omo ma ye nton ombe chi ne manako.
Are these concerns genuine or just a play on national emotions? An attempt to reach the AMA for some answers could not be fulfilled as the mayor was said to be in series of meetings. Pedestrians, on the other hand, are elated at the idea. What is rightfully theirs has been given to them, the walkway.
Be comfortable when you're walking instead of probably trying to surrender within people and all that. Maneuver your way within people and, hitting people around and when you're going. I think the government should probably try and create space for them inside the market instead of being on a walkway where people usually park. I don't think it's the right thing, in as much as, it's a developing country, people need to kind of, survival of the fittest, people need to survive and all that, but if a car happened to fail breakdown, it could crush a lot of people. I don't think it's right for people to be on a pedestrian and all that, yeah.
Formally, when you pass, even there is no way, and before you make a way to pass, the car is also following you. But now it's clear, so we can see that what they have done is a better thing which the AMA have done. Everywhere you sell, people, they will buy. So I don't know why is it that they want to sell on the road.
Everybody here is mobile, carrying their things with them wherever they go so they can vote if the task force is in sight. This modus operandi will persist for a while and probably lead them right back into the street, perhaps permanently. The biggest question remains, how did it get to this? These hawkers understand their presence here is unlawful, but insist they have to earn money and even read political meanings into the entire process. Perhaps a more streamlined evacuation to an appropriately designated area would help. Joy News would keep you updated. Gifty Ando Apia for Joy News. While information reaching Joy News from the Office of the President says President John Dramani Mahama will on Friday, January 18, join 3 other heads of state from the sub-region in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, for an emergency ECOWAS Heads of State Summit. The emergency summit has been called to deliberate on the political situation in Mali and also to formulate strategies for a speedy restoration of peace and constitutional order. The information was contained in a press release issued today by presidential spokesperson John Abdoulaye Djinapor. The president is due to return home on Saturday, January 19th. We'll pause here for a breather. We will return. You're welcome back. Now, have you experienced a blackout in the past 7 days? If you have, you don't have to worry ahead of what is going on, because Head of Corporate Communications at the Volta River Authority, Sam Kwesi Fletcher, says the problem has been rectified. Thus, the emergency load shedding will be over by the weekend.
On Friday, the Volta River Authority took down one of its thermal plants in Tema for maintenance works. This was expected to be completed by Monday, and indeed it was. According to the head of corporate communications at the Volta River Authority, Sam Kwesi Fletcher, the level of crude oil needed to operate the machines at full capacity ran down, and some had to be shut down.
Towards the evening of Monday, we noticed that we were having low crude oil levels, and which meant that we couldn't run the machines at their fullest capacity. It meant some shortfall in generation, and in order to save the system, we had to fall on load shedding. As I speak to you, the crude oil level seems to have improved quite drastically over the last 24 hours, and we are hoping that by the weekend things will normalize.
A permanent solution to end load shedding in the country, according to Fletcher, is to have enough reserve.
For me, if we have enough reserve, then we can always fall back on another machine when one machine fails. But until we do that, until we have a reserve in the system, we will still continue to have challenges, especially when we have just enough supply to meet the country's demand, and there is no fallback plan.
He said producing power with crude oil was very expensive, and that they hoped for the works on the West African gas pipeline to be completed so that the country could receive gas supply from Nigeria.
Before that happens, we need to have enough crude oil to be able to sustain generation, and that that is going to cost us between 250 to 300 million US dollars, which we need to find. Look, we wish that we had that reserve to be able to fall on, but I think that it's not sustainable financially to run on crude oil. So we hope and pray that the gas will start coming very, very soon.
Even though Ghana is number 2 in the sub-Saharan Africa with access to electricity, there is still more to be done, and Sam Fletcher says there are various projects being undertaken to improve our energy system.
Well, we hope that really happens. A 28-year-old young man is in the grips of the Nima District Police for intelligently stealing cars from their owners in the name of renting them. Francis Nyankote was arrested last week after one of his victims lodged a complaint with the Nima Police.
According to the police, the suspect, Francis Nyankote, built good relationships with owners of car rental companies and returned their cars on time anytime he rents them. However, about 6 months ago, Francis rented many cars, most of them Toyota Corolla Saloon cars, made deposits for a month and never returned with the cars. With the help of some guru boys at the DVLA, Francis forged documents to change the ownership of the cars into his name. The police say he sold some and used the rest as collateral of between 7,000 and 10,000 Ghana cedis from banks. Luck, however, ran out for him and is currently in the custody of the Nima Police, awaiting a deferred sentence which will be given on the 21st of February this year. His brother, Paul Nyankote, who was at the police station when the news team got there, said he was surprised when he heard the news.
I don't know, but till it got to this stage before, I realized this is what is happening. I was so bad, okay, but I know he's in business with all these people, but it's rather unfortunate things are turned like this. So, well, I don't know, but I'll take it easy, okay? So it has happened already. There's nothing I can do. I only pray that he come back.
The police retrieved 9 cars from Francis, and some of his victims were at the police station to check if their cars were part of those. And this woman could not hold back her emotions. One of the victims spoke to Joy News.
Somebody that Chum, who also have his office around my place, called me on the phone that she has gotten somebody who wants to rent a car from me. So apparently...
Who wants to rent your car?
Your car, yeah, sure. So I gave the car out to Chum, then Chum went and gave it to the guy. I was very surprised, we were shocked. Then my car like this, it took them almost 3 days to locate where the car is.
Francis is helping the police to get his accomplices.
The 7-member committee tasked by the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly to investigate the cause of the fire outbreak at the Kumasi Central Market has submitted its report.
According to the report, the committee headed by the Metro Fire Officer Robert Atakumi could not identify the actual cause of the fire. The committee also suggested possible causes of the fire. Godwin Okumanyame is the Public Relations Officer of KMA.
The committee came out with some possible causes of the fire. They could not identify the actual cause of the fire after interviewing the traders, after interviewing the market manager and some other stakeholders who they needed to interview. However, the committee came out with some possible causes, such as various illegal electrical connections with substandard.
Fire gutted the market on December 30 last year, destroying property worth thousands of Ghana cedis. Mohammed Nuruddin's report from the Ashanti region.
Well, let's move up north. Residents of Jangbeyiri, a suburb of Wa in the Upper West region, have expressed fears of a looming epidemic in the area if government fails to act quickly. They say a drain constructed over 2 decades ago is now a haven for maggot, mosquitoes and offensive liquid waste. To safeguard their health, they demand that the government construct a new storm drain with a concrete covering. Rafiq Salam reports.
The Ministry of Tourism voted Wa as the cleanest town in the country. Today, the situation has changed drastically. Plastic waste and litter liberally line the streets of Wa. Even worse is the stench that emanates from choked gutters. Amina Nuhu Jimba and Hajia Galu have resided in this area for over 30 years.
Musinga manga kanu ya papu humuni beti mapu hoguro onyuna ma ikumbenjin changa ateminti yene ima kwa gota ake ima kwa musinga ake nuwa nga pano mata ngo yepo ba awon kwa kole sana chalila ka gota ngandla tamavu hoguro takwa changa ke na yuwe dio ngama ko churu ko ne yanki dio ko namba chura kwa awira anda na talabla amba ya le ka jankara ku yara to ya Kasang Pekuman created it. Winning and doing about Laranata. Balance to be Bamo, eating everything Carpelano about Kamau man about a and an unquayam, but be a more eating by Jam and Bia.
The assemblyman for Jangbeyiri electoral area, Abdul Rashid Musa, also shared his frustration.
People are complaining too much because of the gutter. We are infecting of malaria, cholera, and then other things. Flyden. So they're all there. Because I was the very person who was there before the gutter was constructed. I was a part of member in the construction of the gutter. Because it's the community who mobilized to do the gutter. So yet we are pleading for the central government to help. In fact, that is our main problem. The first challenging we have challenging in Jangbeyiri electoral area is our problem. The gutter is our problem.
But for the Wa Municipal Environmental Health and Sanitation Officer, Batong Augustine, residents must take action to clean the drain even as they wait on the President's intervention.
We are facing a serious problem with cleanliness around the households. The olden days, our mothers and sisters used to get up early and sweep both the inside of their houses as well as the outside. But now that sort of thing is not happening. You have these public places cleaned by the assembly with the assistance of the National Youth Employment Program. But when you go to the various houses, you see that it's very nasty, especially the outside.
This is not an isolated case, and sanitation is a growing concern across the municipality. Residents say if nothing is done now, the threat of epidemics may soon become an unwelcome reality.
And we're back in the capital now. Meet Professor Efua Hesse, the first female chief executive officer of the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. Professor Hesse is hoping to bring on board passion, excellence and discipline to transform the hospital into a world-class health institution. Our reporter Yafuswa Jemfi got up close and personal with her in the following report.
The Board of Directors of the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital appointed Professor Afua Jekte Hesse as the acting Chief Executive Officer of the hospital to replace Professor Neo Tunate, who has attained the retiring age of 60. Professor Hesse, until her appointment, was the Director of Medical Affairs of the hospital and an Associate Professor of Surgery at the University of Ghana Medical School, UGMS. She was also the head of the Surgical Sub-Budget Management Center at the hospital and was responsible for the day-to-day running of the surgical department and the academic department. She shares with us some of her achievements serving at the academic and management levels of the nation's premier health institution.
The Public Health Unit, which has been doing a lot of work, and it's a novel idea which was started under my leadership, to have a public health unit in a teaching hospital, because of the very many issues that public health does help to resolve, which even happen not just at the primary care level, but also in the tertiary institution. We also have an ethics division, which under which we have set up an ethics and professionalism committee, which looks at complaints on unethical behaviors by our staff, which may not necessarily border on disciplinary issues, but which must be investigated. And the staff, if they're found guilty, will be trained as well as sanctioned where the need be.
Having played key roles in various areas of healthcare provision, including a lead role in the establishment of the National Health Insurance Authority and representing Ghana at many international conferences, Professor Hesse says she brings on board passion, excellence and discipline, attributes she describes as her hallmark.
My experiences, having worked outside for a whole number of years, is to bring that passion, a little bit of it that I have, and to help it to rub on to other people. So trying to put all these systems in place with a team of directors that we currently have. And I believe that by the end of whatever term it is we're here for, we will achieve what it is we're here for.
Professor Hesse championed the establishment of the first women's clinic in the country. She's currently the president of the Medical Women's International Association, a group of female medical professionals who aim at improving the health of women and children, as well as reducing maternal mortality.
In improving our own healthcare delivery where maternity is concerned, we're looking at the issue of blood and how we can ensure that we have enough.
Well, congratulations to Professor Hesse there. We'll take a very quick break and return with business reports. And I'm sure you have mixed feelings about fuel prices. When we come back, we'll tell you something about that fuel price and the fact that you're not going to have to pay anymore. Welcome to the Business Report. Consumers have been spared of an imminent increase in fuel prices after government absorbed the associated cost. The source at the National Petroleum Authority told Joy Business fuel prices should have gone up today between 10 and 30% as per their bi-monthly review policy. This is because the current local prices are based on the 2011 world market price of $105 compared to the current $110. The decision to revert should cost government about 4 million cedis while spending about 2 billion cedis this year if it continues with its subsidy policy, he added. He added that the government currently owes some oil importers about 300 million Ghana cedis, out of which 1 billion cedis should have been paid out to subsidize fuel prices last year. The state currently subsidizes about 30% for every litre consumed. So that's it for Business Report tonight, but stay up for the smart investment tips. time now for the latest in the world of sports. My name is Rashidat Baba Kadri, and very good news for Ghana ahead of the start of the AFCON 2013 tournament. And the Black Stars have moved 4 places up in the latest FIFA ranking released for the month of January. The Black Stars climbed from last year's 30th place to 26, but remained the continent's 4th best nation. Ghana amassed 788 points on the table, but stayed behind their Nations Cup Group B opponents Mali, who maintained their world rankings in 25th position. The 4-time continental champions beat Egypt and Tunisia last week in pre-Nations Cup friendlies. Ivory Coast still remained the best-ranked African country after an unchanged 14th place on the FIFA ranking. Algeria slipped 3 places down to 22nd, but held on to 2nd spot on the continent. Right, so the Black Stars checked in at the Garden Court Kings Hotel in Port Elizabeth for their 2013 Nations Cup, and the Black Stars also held their first training at that same venue at the Nelson Mandela Bay University earlier this evening as they get ready to join the rest of the continent's best 16 countries for the 2013 AFCON tournament. Remember that the Black Stars played their first game on Sunday against DR Congo at the Port Elizabeth Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. Now, finally, the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, are so broke that they have therefore been forced to put aside proposed enhanced winning bonuses for the team in the AFCON. Head of the NFF Finance Committee, Shehu Adamu, announced that there will be no added incentives for the Super Eagles to win the Nations Cup. Adamu says the football house will maintain the regular winning bonus of $10,000 and $5,000 for a draw in South Africa. The NFF had proposed huge bonuses that would have gone for as much as $30,000 a man for a win in the AFCON final. Such is the financial constraints facing the Nigerian Football Federation that they have been forced to borrow cash for the country's AFCON campaign after a Lagos court froze their accounts over a contractual dispute with Minaj Television. Right, so your best bet for the coverage of the 2013 AFCON tournament is Joy Sports on TV, on Multi-TV, and of course Joy 99.7 FM, and we will also stream live on myjoyonline.com for all the latest in the AFCON, pre, post and during. My name is Rashida. Stepping into the shoes of Gladys Osei-Oredu for Showbiz tonight. Who is hitting our showbiz wall? Well, after enjoying massive airplay for months, rapper Asem has finally released the video for his chart-topping duet with contemporary highlife musician Kwabena Kwabena. The video for the song Bye Bye was posted on the video sharing site YouTube yesterday. Here's a sneak peek of the video.
I don't know what I would tell you.
For the one in love. Ghanaian rapper Asem has released a video for his hit single Bye Bye off his Solid Ground album. The song, which features contemporary highlife musician Kwabena Kwabena on chorus, became an instant hit shortly after it was released last year. Surprisingly though, Kwabena does not make an appearance in the video. Well, maybe it's because the video may not have been shot in the country. Asem is seen for most part of the 4 minutes 59 seconds video by a tree in what appears to be a garden, then in a room with his lover who is going away. It really didn't meet my expectations, but hey, it's a good effort. Enjoy the video.
Well, that's Asem right there for you. Laughter, they say, is the best way to release stress. But when you sit with 2 comedians, will they make you laugh or sick? Gladys Osei-Oredu recently sat down with Congolese-born British comedian Eddie Cardi and Ghana's own Funny Face for a chat.
The award-winning comedian was in Ghana for a show, but it appears he had other ideas for his trip too.
I came down here to perform and, of course, also meet up with my brother Funny Face to go on a nice tour. You know, it's always nice to discover different cultures. I've got a lot of Ghanaian friends, but you know, you have to come to the source. Yeah. Ghanaian girls in the UK, they know they are fine.
So in order for me to humble them, I want to come to their souls and say, I know you are fine, but here they are fine. It's a different ball game altogether. So I've come to Ghana and I've seen the fine.
When two combustible materials are mixed, the result can be lethal. Gladys asked for it, so she had it.
And Fanny will do this to me all day long. Fanny will stop traffic when traffic is not meant to be stopped.
That's why I'm a Ghanaian woman.
Yes.
Yes. Ekomodo. Are you hungry?
Oh, how do I say yes?
I.
Oh, that's the song. Hey. See my zonto.
You want to get up and do that?
Yeah, you know, I've been doing that zonto for a while now. I become. If I get up, they will just see the waist, the Congo waist. You do not.
Let them see.
You do not want to. If you see my Congo waist, let me tell you something. If you see my Congo waist right now, can I just say sorry to the gentleman? If your wife is about to get up and say she's going to the kitchen, she may not come back. Give me eye. Give me eye.
Oh, man, you feel him. Oh, man, you feel him. Oh, man, you feel him. Oh, this is you. You feel him. Oh, man, you feel him. Oh, man, you feel him.
But the dance is just a fraction of what these two have in common.
We did a song together in UK, and trust me, it's good. He sold the O2 Arena.
Can you give us the gist of the song?
The song?
Yeah.
Oh. Let him start, yeah.
They doubted, this be African flavor. They doubted, they no go doubt no more. They doubted, this be African flavor.
Really, they doubted. Well, that is their way of making you laugh. And indeed, you, our audience, you are fine, like they say. That ends Showbiz for tonight. But before we leave you, let's give you what the information we're getting from online. Our social media friends and what they're saying. Well, they have some comments to make on the press release that brought in the names of the new nominees by President John Dramani Mahama. Well, if you can see on the wall here, I'll just read it out to you. Ekobo Emmanuel Alueke said that was cool, but let competence matter much. Nana Kwame Pipra Samuel said, good one there. And Daniel Hamles Osafo said the same, Team B. Okay, same old wine in a different bottle. We want substance and not style. And that was written by Bonti Benjamin. Kwesi Kakari says, new changes, that's okay. Baba P. Lukman says, I'm happy he has removed all the Mugabis. Aziz Bukari Ziba, JM is always full of surprises. Now, let's tell you about what they are saying about our headlines for tonight. Bonti Benjamin says again, same old wine in a different bottle, but we want substance and not style. Joy News, thanks for your works. That is Inshuraba Samuel. Michael Davis Afotu said, good work, Joy. David Eklu says, God bless you people for the good work done. We're happy for you guys. Force and bring the cup to Ghana this year. Well, before we leave you, let's take a recap of our top stories. President Mahama has nominated 7 new people as ministerial designates for selected ministries. It is the second batch of nominations since assuming office. The National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, has threatened to go on strike if the Fair Wages Commission does not resolve its single spine grievances by January 25. But the commission says they should have updated themselves with progress before going to the media. Consumers have been spared an imminent fuel price increase of up to about 30% as government absorbs the price rise. In sports, Ghana has moved 4 places up in the latest FIFA ranking released for the month of January. The Black Stars remains Africa's 4th best. On the international front, a number of hostages have escaped the Islamist militant who took them captive in eastern Algeria. Well, for more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Gifty Amdo Apia. Many thanks for your time. Join us again at 11 for an update. Good evening.